I am explaining a comedy romance movie called The Little Hours. So the movie starts with Sister Fernanda, who is seen walking to church with the donkey. When she arrives at the church, she meets Sister Ginevra. She asks Fernanda that where was she last night? Fernanda says that she went to catch the donkey who ran away from the church. Then Ginevra asks that how this donkey runs away daily. There is a conversation going on between them. Meanwhile, Lurko, the gardener passing by there, says good morning to them, but in return, he hears abuses from those sisters. After that, Ginevra is seen complaining about the donkey to the head sister, Maria. She says that she should be given the responsibility of taking care of the donkey. In the next scene, we see Sister Alessandra who sits quietly on her bed. She is tired of this church life and wants to live her life outside. The next morning, her father Ilario comes to meet her. He says that he couldn't find a boy for her because the boy's family is asking for a lot of dowry. On this, Alessandra says that if she reduces her donation to the church, then she can save money for the dowry. On this, his father refuses clearly. The next day, all the three sisters are passing by, taking the knitted clothes. Meanwhile, again, the flirt gardener Lurko comes there. He starts staring at them with his bad intentions. All the three sisters see him and start abusing Lurko together. On the other side, Father Tommaso goes to the market for selling knitted clothes for sisters. He meets that flirt gardener Lurko on his way. Lurko says that now he will not work in that church because those three sisters have beaten and abused him. On this, Father Tommaso requests him that from now, nothing like that will happen. Please don't leave. But by then, Lurko had been badly humiliated by the sisters, so he runs away from there. In the next scene, we see Lord Bruno, who is having dinner with his wife Francesca. He is telling his wife about his financials, but his wife's attention is on their servant, Massetto, who is sitting nearby. Both are flirting with each other. In the night, both are seen talking to each other after spending time on the bed. Francesca says to Massetto that his husband Bruno is useless and he can't do anything. On this, Massetto says that, to make you happy, let's make another round. During the second round, Bruno comes into the room suddenly, and before that, he could see who was enjoying with his wife. Massetto, hiding himself, jumps out of the window and runs away. Following him, Lord Bruno comes to the servants' quarters where Massetto is pretending to sleep. Lord Bruno puts a hand on the chest of all the servants. In this way, he comes to know that who had been running. Massetto's heartbeat is very high, but due to the darkness, Lord Bruno cannot recognize that who is he. Therefore, he cuts Massetto's ponytail and says that he will get to know that in the morning. As Lord Bruno leaves, Massetto wakes up and cuts the ponytail of all his companions. In the morning, when Lord Bruno comes to punish that deceitful servant, he comes to know that he had been fooled. After some time, Queen Francesca again comes to Massetto to satisfy herself, who was doing his work outside. She starts kissing him. Standing on the roof, Lord Bruno sees the scene. He orders his soldiers to catch Massetto and bring them to him. To save his life, Massetto runs toward the forest. Running into the jungle, Massetto meets Father Tommaso, who is drunk. His car has overturned and he is trying to save his clothes floating in the lake. Massetto helps Tommaso. Being impressed by him, Father Tommaso takes him to the church with him. He advised him on the way that you have to pretend to be deaf and dumb. Otherwise, the sisters will disturb you a lot here. The next morning, they both reach the church. Reaching there, Father Tommaso introduces Massetto to Sister Maria. At first, she refuses to keep him in the church, but at the request of Tommaso, she gives him the job of the gardener. The next day, Massetto is doing his work. Meanwhile, there comes Sister Fernanda, pointing a weapon at him. She starts investing about him. In fact, Fernanda does not know anything about Massetto. Meanwhile, there comes Sister Maria and tells her that he is a new gardener, Massetto, and he is deaf and dumb. On the same night, Fernanda's friend Marta comes to meet her, and both of them start drinking in Alessandra's room. After some time, Ginevra joins them. While drinking wine, all the four start talking about adult stuff. The next morning, Massetto is digging the ground. Meanwhile, Sister Alessandra comes there. By talking to Massetto, Alessandra loses herself and starts kissing Massetto openly. Massetto also takes the advantage of this moment and starts enjoying with Alessandra. Meanwhile, the church's bell rings and Alessandra leaves. On the other side, Ginevra and Fernanda are washing the clothes. Meanwhile, Alessandra also comes there. All the three starts talking about the last night and say that they enjoyed it a lot. Fernanda asks Alessandra that, how did your clothes get so dirty? Alessandra says that I was helping that deaf Massetto in digging. Hearing this, Ginevra and Fernanda do not believe their sister, because they have never seen Alessandra doing work before. One day, Ginevra sees Fernanda and her friend going towards the forest. She secretly chases them and reaches the forest where both are making belladonna. Friends, if you do not know what is belladonna, then let me tell you that they believe that belladonna is a leaf, and serving this leaf, men can be attracted towards them. Marta puts 2 drops of belladonna syrup in Fernanda's eye. Ginevra, hiding in the bush, sees all that. After that, Fernanda and Marta reach Massetto Massetto's room, where Massetto is asleep. Then we are shown a hot scene between the three. Marta and Fernanda are enjoying themselves, and Massetto also joins them without any hesitation. The next morning, Bishop Bartholomew comes to the church. Then, Marta and Maria both take them for a visit to the church. Taking advantage of the chance, Massetto enters Alessandra's room and starts getting intimate with her. During that moment, an old nun comes in. Seeing that old nun, Massetto utters, "Oh no!" Because of this, Alessandra gets very astonished. Setting her cloth quickly, she starts helping that old nun. And Massetto hides under the bed. Both are lucky that old nun did not see them getting intimate. Massetto is about to run away from there by jumping through the window. Meanwhile, Bishop, Tommaso, and Maria come into the room. Once again, Massetto hides under the bed, and after they all leave, he comes out of there. On the other side, Ginevra also starts making belladonna. She drinks it instead of putting it into her eyes. Because of this, her brain starts getting dizzy. Then Alessandra goes into Massetto's room and asks why he lied that he is deaf and dumb. Meanwhile, Ginevra comes there. Alessandra quickly runs away and hides in a corner. Intoxicated with belladonna, she starts kissing Massetto as she enters the room. Meanwhile, she hears the footsteps of Fernanda. She also quickly runs away and hides in a corner where she meets Alessandra. Seeing each other, both get surprised. Alessandra and Ginevra chase her, and they get astonished at what they see in the forest. They see that in the middle of the forest, many witches are dancing around the burning fire, and nearby there is Massetto tightened with the ropes. Seeing that situation, they both understand that Fernanda and Marta are going to sacrifice Massetto's life. Marta is about to kill Massetto. Meanwhile, Ginevra reaches there and starts killing those witches. Marta tries to calm down Ginevra, but intoxicated with drugs, Marta hits her with a nearby stick, due to which she faints. After that, Alessandra also comes there and stops Fernanda from killing Massetto. During that, Massetto also tells the truth that he is not deaf and dumb. Blooded, Ginevra runs toward the church. Now she shouts and gathers everyone. Hearing the noise, Bishop also wakes up. Ginevra says to Bishop that Fernanda is a witch. Meanwhile, Fernanda, Massetto, and Alessandra come there. Bishop calls Sister Maria outside, but Father Tommaso also comes out of Maria's room. Everyone's eyes are wide open when they see it. The next morning, Bishop punishes everyone. He makes Father Tommaso a monk and transfers him to another church where only men live. Massetto is handed over to his master, Lord Bruno, where he imprisons him. All three holy sisters are seen apologizing to one another for their misbehavior. All the three are worried about Massetto a lot. On the other side, Massetto is serving his sentence in the jail cell. Meanwhile, Lord Bruno comes there. He tells him that he has kept his ex-wife with wild boar and dog. He says that until his mood gets better, he will keep her alive, and tells about various tortures with which he will be treated in the coming days. After some time, a tortoise comes into the cell. A candle is burning on its back. Actually, that tortoise is sent by those three sisters to divert the attention of soldiers. As soldiers follow that tortoise and come out of there, sisters come there and give the clothes of the nun to Massetto to wear and take him out of there. Ginevra puts a dummy in place of Massetto in the jail. Because of this, soldiers think that he is Massetto. The four then run away into the forest like free birds. They are happy, obviously. They should be because celebrations are going to be held tonight, where Maria meets Father Tommaso, who is wandering in the forest. Seeing each other, both become happy. Meanwhile, they hear the footsteps of sisters and Massetto. Hearing that, both hide. After they all leave, they start laughing, seeing each other, and start kissing. And friends, the movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Also, have an amazing rest of the day. We will see you in the next one.